Hey guys, Haas with Haas Games and Cards, and I hope you're all doing awesome because you all deserve it. What do we got going on today? Well, today, first of all, sorry if I sniff. I'm sick. I don't feel great. I'm all sniffly, and it's not fun, but it is what it is. But today, and you know what else sucks too, is I actually recorded this whole video, and for whatever reason, my microphone wasn't working. So I have the entire video done up with no audio, and now I have to do it again. And it's a longer video. So that kind of sucks. Kind of down about that because I didn't script anything, of course, and there's going to be points that I'm going to miss that I came up with on the fly while talking about this video. A little bummed about it, so I'll probably forget some stuff, and it's not going to be as awesome as it could have been. I'm a little bit bummed, but you know what? That's just life. That's just how it goes. First, let's talk about our video sponsor, which is us, HaasGamesandCards.com. Guys, we have Terastal Festival up there for a very good cheap price. Booster boxes, beating market price even. We have a handful up at this price still. Definitely jump in before they're gone. If you are tired of overpaying for English, it's way too expensive, and you're tired of not getting any hits, you know what? These booster boxes have at least an SAR in them. So you get a hit. You get something better than nothing, and the quality is better too. English quality sucks right now. But what are we talking about today? Today we're going to talk about the Prismatic Evolutions market crash. Except there isn't one. Clickbait. There isn't one. Sorry if the clickbait is too rough. Definitely click off. The Prismatic Evolutions market crash, which there isn't. There isn't one, guys. We have a lot of people going crazy over Pokemon right now. But then Pokemon comes out with this announcement and says, hey guys, we're going to reprint so much stuff. We're going to do a lot of reprints. Don't you worry. We're wrong, which is funny because they never admit that they're wrong in anything. But this time they're like, you know what? We're so wrong. We're going to do some reprints. We'll make it right. Everything will be all better. And so you have a lot of people sitting here saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Everybody, stop. Do not buy at these prices right now. Stop buying things. Just don't do it. Everything's going to be fine. Pokemon said we're going to reprint the hell out of everything. Everything will be A-okay. And today, we're going to go over some things that are going to make people unhappy.
Like all I feel is rage and frustration.
And I don't like to make people unhappy, but you know what? Whether you are a collector, whether you're just trying to collect sealed, or you're trying to rip this stuff for fun, or you're a investor, which I don't think most of the new investors that are coming into the hobby are not investors. They just like the immediate numbers and quick flip that English brings right now. They're super excited about it. They're like, wow, if I find this at a store for $50, I already made like double value.
Kind of like, how dare they attitude, like it's me, I'm the man.
So, yeah, no, I don't think they're true investors. You wait until some prices drop down, they're going to fire sell their stuff. I'm going to buy it. And they're just going to freak out, and it's not going to work out for them. So I don't think there's a lot of true investors, because a lot of people, especially when I talk to my local people and other things like that, you know, I have some people that are like, oh man, I just got a PSA 10 Pikachu from Surging Sparks, and I saw that it's dipping down in price. I should sell it immediately, shouldn't I? I should just get rid of it.
Thing for me are the side effects, mostly the psychological ones, specifically reduction in fluid intelligence.
And I have to remind them, I'm like, the 151 Charizard barely broke 300 at one point. The Lugia was like in the 200s in a PSA 10 at one point, and everything else used to be super cheap. The Bubble Mew in a PSA 10 was worth like $200, maybe 300, and now they're all like over $1,000. They're all just expensive, right? So I have to keep reminding people, I'm like, you'll have these big beginning spikes, it'll drop down, and then all of a sudden, when the set's either hard to get or it's not going to get printed or whatever, or people just realize it exists again, it'll boom back up. And not only up higher or up to where it was, but higher than it's ever been. And Surging Sparks just barely came out. These other cards have had a year to do its roller coaster for a second and then pop up. And so I have to remind people, I'm like, just hold things. It's okay. It's okay. Things will go down a little bit, but they'll pop back up. But let's get into this, guys. Pokemon is saying, we're going to print this into the ground. You'll be able to find it. It's going to be fine and dandy. You have a lot of YouTubers that are saying, don't buy anything.
Feel wronged by things that people tell you.
It's okay. Just wait. You will be able to get this product so easy. So easy. And so my response is, well, when you walk into Target or Walmart or Best Buy, how easy is it for you to get this product? Because it's not. It's not easy for you to get this product. And the sad reality, and this is going to piss people off, and we're going to have to insert a lot of Mike Israetel clips to this video. The sad reality is no matter how much they print this stuff, people are still going to be scrounging for it and sucking up all the inventory and even fighting over it too. I mean, 151's been out for a minute. People are still fighting over it. People are still fighting over it. And they have printed that set like crazy. They have done, of course, all the initial releases, all the store restocks, the mini tins, the 151 ETBs with tins, the UPCs. And then they have done the Blooming Waters and everything like that. Every step of the way, people fought for that product.
Interested in committing acts of violence.
There's tons of it, and it barely has impacted the market. So I'm going to show you some examples, guys. I'm going to show you that Waters. Prismatic is not going to be impacted too much. It will go down a little bit for sure, but in the next year to 2 year span, it's not going to impact it much. It's still going to be hard to find, and people that are afraid to buy it right now are going to miss out, and then it's going to get more expensive, and then it's just not going to go good. Let's miss out on not getting anything. 1 second. I'm going to take a sip of water. And we're back. So how does Haas know this? How can Haas just spew this and be so down about the reprints and, not believe in the YouTube message that most YouTubers are giving that everything's going to be okay? How come Haas doesn't believe in that? Well, let's rewind back in time to when Haas just barely started back into Pokemon. 151 comes out, right? And even though it was readily available, third party, locally, people were flipping those booster bundles from like $50 all the way up to $100. And that's not even on TCG Player. Like, I don't think it ever got that high at the beginning on TCG Player, but locally, people were scooping that up no matter what the price was. And they weren't even complaining about it, too. They were just like, oh boy. And I slightly participated. I just barely got back into Pokemon. I didn't have a lot of expendable income during that time, and I still don't. And I bought a booster bundle display. I'm like, cool, I'm going to open half of it because I want to relive my childhood, because good times. And then I'm going to sell the other half to recoup my losses. And so I sold it for enough for it to break even, which means I had to sell it for more than MSRP. We'll jump into the MSRP discussion later on too. But sold it for more because it was not available. People wanted it. Demand dictated that more of it was needed, and it was not available in stores. It was not available at MSRP. You could not just walk in to your LGS and grab it. And LGS, I mean, they have to make their adjustments too, and we'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, so that got scooped up. People were able to sell it for more, and this was even like outside of TCG knowledge and stuff. I didn't even know what TCG player was back then. I was just like, you know what? To make things up, I need to sell it at this much. And people were buying it. They didn't care. And they weren't complaining about it. They're just like, I want this. So these booster bundles, they don't come back. They don't come back. And I finally end up getting enough sales data to build an LLC, to get a distro, and restocks just don't happen of 151. They do not. There's been 2 times I've seen booster bundle restocks ever since I got distro access. And one time was a handful of months ago where they sold it right at market. And I was sitting there looking at it being like, your distro's not selling it at what they originally sold it at. And they don't, guys. Distro at the very beginning is when the cheapest prices will be. On a set release is when you'll get the cheaper pricing. But then if they restock or reprint or anything months down the road, they do not put it back at distro pricing. They are very knowledgeable about the third-party market, and they will post their products higher. They do. Do you think when the Paldea Evolved reprint happened that we got it at normal distro prices? Nope. It was a little bit off from market, but not by much. A little bit off by market, but not by much. And even with that reprint didn't even affect Paldea Evolved. It dipped down for a second, and then it shot back up, not only to where it was at, but even higher than what it started. Or even higher than at its highest point. It's the highest it's ever been now. And you know what? I hate to do and I told you so, but I made a YouTube video not too long ago where I said, hey, you know what, guys? I'm going to help some people out. I'm going to put some cases of product, of booster boxes and sleeve cases. I'm going to put some product up there for almost what distro has them at. Distro had them more than what the original release price was, but it was still below market. And I said, you know what, guys? Surging Sparks is out. You can't get it anymore, and it's already doubled in price. But there's still some good investment opportunities. I'm going to hook up a few lucky people that buy it off of my website for under market, and it will be a great deal. And give it a year, and you guys are going to see some great returns on it. And guess who took advantage? Because I said, hey, you know what? They're limiting how much can be bought at distro. It's 1 case per order. And the prices are obviously not the original distro price. And guess how many people took advantage of that from the website? 0. Because it was not the hot topic. It was not what people wanted, because it wasn't super expensive. I'm coming to find when something becomes very expensive, people want it. That's when they want it. They don't want it when it's cheap. They don't want it when prices are good. They want it when it's FOMO time. It's FOMO time, and now prices are way expensive. That's when they want it. So I posted this great deal. 0 of you took advantage of it from my website. But locally, because I do a lot of local sales too. I am like a little mini roving store. But locally, people ate it up. No one on here did. No one even looked at it. Sorry. Like I said, I'm a little sick. Nobody even looked at it. Nobody even cared about it online. But then as soon as I ran out, all of a sudden people are like, I ran out. And distro stopped stocking them. And then third party took over. And the market started to shoot up on all those sets. And then all of a sudden people are like, I want that. I start getting restock requests. I start getting all this stuff on my website. Oh boy. And so we started getting the restock requests, and nobody took advantage of it. And I had to be like, sorry guys, I can't order it anymore. Distro is gone. It doesn't exist. And now you have to go to the third party market, where now that price has gone even higher because they know the distros don't have it anymore. And they took advantage. The people that bought it and then flipped it for even a higher price, they took advantage of it. They were like, oh, we see this good deal. We see the writing on the wall on what distro's about to do. So we're going to take advantage of it and we're going to profit from it. And nobody else took advantage of it. So I told you so. I gave you guys a chance. I said, here's the good investments that can still happen in 2024. And you guys said, no way, no. And then it happened. So that's on you guys. That's on you guys. And that's when you can take advantage of things and sell it for above MSRP. And then you can't really complain about what market price is because you guys are participating in it. So anyways, back off that rant because that's not what we're talking about. 151 booster bundles. Distro will get them back randomly and they will sell them at market price. I recently, in the last few days, ordered up more booster bundles because they came back to Distro. But do you know what they said? Distro said, hey, we see 151 booster bundles being this price. So, guess what? You're going to pay almost that price. And you're going to try to sell it in the near future. And it'll still be around that price. And you're going to not make anything. After shipping and everything, you're not going to make jack. And so that means I have to buy it for a way inflated price. I have to hold on to it. I have to wait for market to go up a little bit. And then that's when I have to sell it. And it might be a year from now, might be 2 years from now, 3 years from now. I don't know. Because I have to wait for a good time. Because I know that's going to happen. I'm taking advantage of it. But I also know that I'm not getting the best deal because Distro doesn't give good deals after release. That's just how it works. Their restocks are more expensive. So people are saying, oh, yeah, it's going to get printed into the ground. It's going to be so readily available. We can find it anywhere, get it anytime. Things will be great, grand, and dandy. Not true. So 151 has had its ups and downs. 100% has had its ups and downs. But every time it goes up and then back down, it always goes back up higher than it has ever been. And this is with all the products that people were fighting over. People were fighting over these and going insane.
So think of it. You're brushing your teeth and you're thinking, I want to beat this guy up.
So, basically, we had the mini tins. We had the ETBs that Costco had. We had the UPCs that Costco had. And Blooming Waters. All those would be loaded up on the pallets. Even had purchase limits of them of like 2 for Blooming Waters. And would get sold out in an hour. At least in my area they did. All sold out in an hour. And so now we're here. And after all these big products were launched, all these packs are in the market, all these packs are this, that, and the other, still super expensive. In fact, it's more expensive than it's ever been. And it's trending to continue that. And we go further down, even just to the second page of listings. Boom, we're getting up to $67 already. All the way up to 70. So, did reprints make this readily available? Did reprints make this cheaper? Did reprints make a difference? Absolutely not. It didn't for this product. It did not for Paldea Evolved. No. And you have to think, Pokemon is like, oh yeah, we're going to reprint this. We're going to go full bore, full steam on our reprints. But what about the other sets they need to reprint? Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift, Obsidian Flames. They already did Paldea Evolve, so that's gone. Surging Sparks needs a reprint, technically. And Surging Sparks immediately went and doubled in price overnight, and people didn't really care about that. But Prismatic, they're up in arms about it. It's crazy. And again, I don't like the prices being that expensive, but I don't control the market. And I like it better when I can just buy things at a decent price from distro anytime I want and pump it out at a good price and just keep this good continual flow. And there's enough demand to support that. But we're not there. And so people are sitting there watching the booster bundle being like, oh, $56, I can't do that. It's too expensive. I'm not going to do it. I won't benefit from it. Well, cool. Now it's $66. So if people are going to keep on edging themselves out of a product, and it's going to keep getting more and more expensive. The entry point will keep getting more and more expensive when they could have gotten it at a lower entry point because they're listening to everybody else saying, oh yeah, It's too expensive. A guy on YouTube said so. And the guy on YouTube said that reprints are going to happen. And obviously he must know because he has distro. Oh, wait, they don't have distro. Whoops. They don't have distro. And they just magically know that's going to be all better when there's other sets that are saying otherwise. Other sets that are saying, no, it's not going to be better. And all these YouTubers are saying this are lying to you. It's terrible. And if I were to say, hey, you know what? Everything's going to be fine. Wait for the reprints. By then. And everything will be great, fine, and dandy. That would be lying to you. We all have seen what 151 has done over time. We all have seen what Surging Sparks has been doing over time. We have all been seeing what this current Prismatic set is doing. We know what's coming out in the future with Journey Together, with the Rocket Return set. There's going to be a black and white set. So you're telling me that we have over 2 years of data of stuff getting inflated, upped in price, reprinted, it's still going up in price, and all the YouTubers and everybody that doesn't have distro, who doesn't really know, you're all telling me that this is going to get printed into the ground and be worth nothing? You're not right. And you're getting people to where they won't get product. And that's the other thing too. If this truly is beyond your means and not a good price for you, there is a thing called saying no. We all need to learn to say no. It's okay to miss out on things. It's okay to miss out on things for a year. It's okay to miss out on things for 2 years. If this is not a good entry point for you, then don't do it. Just simply don't. You don't have to. No one's making you. So anyways, 151 bundles going crazy. 151 ETBs still going crazy. Still up there. Still climbing. It dipped down a little bit, but they're still expensive. And they're still going to keep going up. Yep, there's already some for 170s. Yeah, sure, it went down a little bit, but now we're already selling them for almost 180. Like I said, there's little dips, but then it goes back up higher than it's ever been. Right here was 173. There's already one for 176. It's already happening. Now, here's something that nobody's talking about. I have not seen one video on this, not one coverage. Everyone's crapping their pants about the price of ETBs, of the binder collections and things like that. Do you guys know what's coming in March? Do you guys know what's coming in March? It is Prismatic Evolution booster bundles, which are already selling for $110 and are already just selling nonstop for $110. Consistent data of it selling for 110. And we're going to look here. There's only one page of this stuff listed. It gets up to 139. It'll be interesting to see if we hit that 139, but it is shooting up. So this set has much more hype behind it than 151. I feel like Pokemon Pocket brought a lot more people in. Pokemon's not printing enough to accommodate all the new collectors, all the Pokemon Pocket people that want in, and all the stores that want to get in on prices and things like that. So you have this, and it is way more hyped, and it is selling way more out of the gate than 151 ever did. Way more. 151 has not even hit this point yet, and Prismatic's not even out. Prismatic's not even out, and it's already well above 151 at any point in time. So, again, you're trying to tell me that reprints, that technically, when are they going to have time to do it with all the other sets they need to reprint and all the new sets coming out this year? They have a ton of new sets coming out this year, and you're telling me that they're going to magically have time to reprint all the sets they need to reprint and to continue building up the new sets when they already had to do delays for the Terrapagos UPC, for the Shrouded Fable ETBs and things like that. I would say you're pretty off. I'd say you're pretty off. So no one's talking about how expensive these booster bundles are. And then no one's talking about how expensive the surprise box is. The surprise box, which is a $22 product. $22 product because there's an EV with a promo on it. And sorry, this is what the box looks like. EV with a promo on it. And you're telling me, and it's like the crappy EX version of these EVs and Evolutions and stuff like that. You get 4 packs. And this is already $104. Almost as much as the booster bundle has spiked up. Only one page of it. It goes up to $130, just like the booster bundle going up to $140. So again, this product coming out in February. In fact, this product comes out even earlier than the booster bundle because they're like, oh, we're gonna do this great thing as a Pokemon company, and we're gonna space out the release of certain products. We're gonna space it out so there's products throughout the year. Okay, well, you didn't print enough binder collections, text stickers. You didn't print enough poster collections. Didn't post enough or print enough ETBs. So you're telling me that you magically have enough booster bundles and enough surprise boxes to now fit the market and demand? You don't. You don't. In fact, I can guarantee that the reason why these are releasing at different dates is because they're so far behind, just like with Shrouded Fable ETBs and just like with the Terapagos UPC, that they were like, we can't get this out on the normal release time. We're not going to be able to have it done. We don't have all the materials. We're missing something, or we're just too slow. And so we want a staggered release. That's probably the truth of why they're doing a staggered release, because they just can't do it quick enough, guys. Be realistic here. And then the ETB has, of course, gone down a little bit during the release. But if we look at it, it's already trending back up. In fact, one just got bought on the 23rd for $119. So we're getting there. All this is like the accessories of the ETBs. I hate that TCG Player lets you put that up. So it takes a second to get down. And I think that muddles up the market too. Takes a second to get to our ETBs. But if we take a look, pretty soon, 118 popping up. Yeah, 118 again. So these are going to be selling for quite a bit again. It's going to dip down just like 151 did with all of its ups and downs. But it's going to go back up and even peak higher, because you're going to give it like a month or two. People are going to be like, I want ETBs. There's no reprint. Oh no, they're slightly going up in price. I need to FOMO and pay even above whatever the last sold was, because now they're getting harder to get. There's less of them. The reprint didn't happen when I needed it to, because it's probably going to take a year or so for them to catch up. If they catch up, because they got to reprint everything else. Guys, it just doesn't make sense. I get it. They made a message saying, yes, we're going to reprint this. We're going to reprint it into Oblivion. It's going to be so grand. But again, they can't even get this line of product out all at one time. And you're going to realize it at some point, and these cheaper stock of items are going to go away, and then you're going to be like, oh crap, now I have to pay more money for it, and I'm going to FOMO, so I am going to pay more money for it. Because that's how people are. Because people should just say no. They should see these prices and be like, hey, you know what? In order to stop a reseller from posting things at a crazy price, I'm just going to stop buying it. And then if people stop buying it, the prices would go down. People would liquidate what they have because it's not selling. But people aren't doing that, and that's nothing but the customer's fault. So it's just wild, because you have people that during a time, you could go in, get an Obsidian Flames booster box for like $80, because stores were forced to buy stock, sell it at a loss, or else distro wouldn't work with you. And conveniently, people would be like, go to a store and be like, you want MSRP for a booster box, but market price says otherwise. I want it for the market price, and I want you guys to sell at a loss, and I want you guys to be happy with it. So now that the store can finally sell things at market, now conveniently, a lot of people are like, oh, you know what? Terrible are the stores that sell above MSRP. I want them to sell at MSRP because it's convenient for me. Now that I can flip the script, it's convenient for me to sell at or to buy it at MSRP because that benefits me, because it benefited me when MSRP or when market was below MSRP. So now I want things to be at MSRP or else I'm going to complain about it. And I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm with you guys too. Like, I want this stuff cheap because I want to be able to sell it for cheap and get more whenever I want to and just shoot this stuff out every second I can. But again, you can sit there and be mad about it all you want. Your anger does not change facts. Your opinions don't change facts. The fact is there's demand and there's the market price. And right now, both of them are saying this is the price. And a store can flip it above MSRP if they need to. They probably have old bills that they never got to finish paying off, and that's what they're going to do if that's what they got to do. Because they know there's going to be people that buy it without complaint, and there's going to be people that see it and complain about it, and they're going to go, well, that's okay, you're going to complain about it, but other people are still going to buy it because they still want it, and they understand that this product is going to be more expensive. And to be realistic, if you're a collector and you see long-term value in this and you see, hey, you know what, in 5 years, I expect this to be a lot more than $114, then picking it up at $114 is not a big deal versus 80, 90, whatever. If you're a real investor, not collector, sorry. I said collector. I meant investor. You would know that this is going to go up at some point. You don't need to wait for it to go down. You can just jump in and you'll be fine. Because that's how Pokemon is. Over time, it all goes up. And so these sets are doing more than Lost Origin ETBs. They're doing more than ETBs with Lugia, Silver Tempest. That's what I'm looking for. These are doing much better than any Sword and Shield ETB ever did this quickly. And the hit rates are abysmal. And so that means the value of the big cards are huge. So that's the other thing, is with hard hit rates and with these bigger cards, the stuff's going to be more expensive. That's just how it goes. Again, I hate to be the bad guy. I hate to say stuff that people don't want to hear. But if you listen to all these other YouTubers that say, it's going to go down, you're going to be able to find this stuff all the time, it's not going to happen, guys. There's a market for it right now. There's a market for it to be expensive. There's a demand for it. That's where we're at, my friends. I'm sorry. And will it dip down ever? Oh, yeah, of course it'll dip down. That's what 151 did. It's been dipping down and going back up. This will dip down and go back up. And so, again, a lot of you guys took advantage of stores when market benefited you. And now that market is not benefiting you, you want it back at MSRP. You can't pick what's convenient for you. And you don't get to choose that. I don't get to choose it. The market chooses, the people choose, the buyers choose. I feel like the people that complain and go on strike are not the buyers. They're not. And there's people buying this all day, every day. And again, if you did not want this to happen, you'd stop buying. But instead, we have non-stop sales. And again, not the popular answer. My bad. I'm with you guys, though. You have to realize, I'm with you guys. I'm in the same boat. I want it cheaper. I want to have fun with the set. I can't right now. I don't get to rip it because it's expensive. And I'm not going to. I might rip here and there for stuff that I got at MSRP. You know, if I find one at a store randomly, then yeah, I'll rip it. But right now, nope. Definitely not. Definitely not. So hopefully this video has helped some of you kind of realize how the market goes, how distro does things, because distro will up their prices as sets go on. They don't just magically stay at a super cheap price. Hopefully helps you understand that, you know what, they can reprint this all they want. This is not going to be just a regular available item, because they tried to do the same thing with 151 and they failed. And 151 has room to grow, I think, because it has not hit the same peaks as Prismatic. And Prismatic has room to grow because it's going to dip down a little bit and then shoot back up higher than it was, because Paldea Evolved did that, Obsidian Flames did that. Every set in the Scarlet and Violet era has had its huge dips, and then it ends up going up higher than it's ever been. I mean, even Crown Zenith, you look at a PSA 10 Gold Giratina, higher than it's ever been. You look at the PSA 10 151 Charizard, higher than it's ever been. You look at the Surging Sparks Pikachu. Yep, it's on a down turn right now, but that also just recently came out. And just like the Charizard, where the 151 Charizard, everyone's like, the neck is too chunky. Now it's $1,000 card. Pikachu is already at 1,000. Pikachu ranges from 1,000 to 1,000, or sorry, 1,000 to 1,500, depending on the day, depending on the auction. So it's already above the 151 Charizard by far, and for longer. So it'll have its little dip, might go below $1,000 a little bit, and then it's going to go back up to where it was, and then even higher. So be realistic, my friends, because if there is stuff you want, it might be the cheaper time to get it. Or if it's too expensive, say no. Say no. I don't know what else we can do. Hopefully that all makes sense. But we have so much evidence of the current sets, including 151, which was a hype set, but nowhere near the hype as Prismatic, with nowhere near the amount of collectors. That's where we're at, my friends. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the one to tell you that, but I'm the one to tell you that. I hope you all have a good night. Thank you for watching. Please check out our website. Please grab some Terastal Festival. If you like a fun little gamble, we have our mystery product that has tons of expensive slabs, booster boxes, sealed product, etc., etc. Have a good night. Don't do anything crazy.